word today. Yay. Where should we go? I'm really excited about this one. I'm trying to plan it out. I've been out for a run this morning and I've been thinking about it in my head to try and get everything that I want to say down. Turns out a lot of the time when I do these vlogs, I forget half the stuff I want to say. And therefore I look back at it myself and, you know, you guys wouldn't know, but I look back at myself and go, oh, I forgot to say that, I forgot to say this, I forgot to say the other. Whereas if I take my time, I might be able to get it. I love poker. Love it. Absolutely love it. I found it about 20 years ago when I was in Ibiza with some friends on holiday. It was a family holiday. 2-3 families got together. And I found poker then. I said to a friend of mine, Bobby Swift, thank you, Bobby, but you too thank for this. I said, mate, what's this game poker? It missed me, it passed me by. And the reason why it passed me by was because I was living in Holland when the boom happened in the UK. And I was too busy with golf, so I never really saw poker. It was only when I came back into the UK, around the area, that I started to see that people wanted, you know, were playing it and it was really big. And I said, what is it? And he said to me, he says, mate, he says, you don't want to learn this. He says, because if I teach you this, it'll consume your life. Poker is a way of life. I'm like, it's a card game, mate. It's a card game. What is it? So one afternoon, on a rainy afternoon in Ibiza, we were sat there in the hotel on an all-inclusive, and the rain was coming down, the kids were playing in the pool, and we got a load of 2-cent coins. And Bobby went, come on then, I'll show you how to play it. He told me how to play poker. And in essence, the first explanation he came up with was, poker is a poor man's chess. Now obviously when you first learn something, you believe everything that you're getting told because that's the part of a learning process, isn't it? You learn it. So poker is a poor man's chess. Now at first, I had to agree with him. Because it was like, you could be as knowledgeable or as not knowledgeable about the game as you wanted, yet you still get enjoyment out of the game. But me being me with my addictive traits and wanting to do the thing, and if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do the best, and I want everything to be the best. I took this game on and studied it. And once you started studying it, you realised actually how complex the game can become. First thing I always do, you guys know, is you look at the greats. You're like, okay, who's the best players? I'm going to go on the other side of the road actually, because I think mine a little bit more out the wind. You look and go, okay, who's the best players in the game? Let's have a look at them. Let's see what their study material is, see what they've got. And the moment you start looking into it, you realise then that actually this game has got a lot more about it than you could think. I'm talking now that I've done this over a period of like 10 years of study. And what I realise, and this is where I don't want to get things wrong, I've won poker tournaments. I used to go to casinos on a Friday night, and I used to enter a €25 tournament, and I used to win. And I used to win, I think I've won more than 10 times, which means that I got to a level which I thought was quite good. However, there was a poker player called Daniel Negreanu, and he came up with a saying. He went, if you are sat at a table and you can't see who the fish is at the table, then you are the fish. And it's a great saying. The fish is the one who is the least qualified to play the game. So the easy target, they call that the fish. So if you can't spot the fish, you're the fish. Now that's what's great about poker. In the beginning, you are actually the fish. You start off there as the fish, and you don't know anything different about it. But then when you start learning the game, what normally tends to happen is you progress a little bit, then you start learning the game, and then your level drops a little bit whilst you're learning the new knowledge, and then it takes off again. The thing about poker, you see, I've done it again. I've jumped. What I love about poker was one of my ideal dreams was, I always remember, I can feel this wind, man. I always remember PokerStars was the app that I used to play. I used to play on PokerStars, and they used to go around Europe, PokerStars Europe, and they used to play in tournaments across the cities of the world. And one of them was Monaco. And when they were in Monaco, they actually played in a casino where the roof would come off. And my dream one day was always just to go and, I'd love to play poker in that room, where you've got an open air sky like this, and you're playing poker with the world's greats. What I didn't realise was, in a few years down the line, is I actually had to go to Monaco for it's a tough gig, I had to go to Monaco for the launch of the Corsa, the Vauxhall Corsa, and we went to the auditorium there that they had. And this auditorium the car was on the stage, and the people from Vauxhall were introducing it to ourselves. And then the roof came off. And I actually didn't realise that the naivety of me is that the Monte Carlo Casino, which is normally you see in the James Bond films, was actually not where they played the Poker Stars tournament. What actually it was it was in this auditorium. I was actually sat in the auditorium at the place that I always wanted to go, and the rush that I felt in there. And I couldn't explain it to anybody because nobody really knew about poker. Nobody looked at it or studied it the way I did. So therefore it was nothing to them, but to me it was like I'd just arrived in Mecca, and it was absolutely brilliant. That's how much I love poker. I actually seriously considered, I thought, can I make a career out of this? Because I'm doing okay, I'm winning these tournaments. And then you start really looking into the people who were playing. And what was incredible was that the people that were playing were absolute maths geniuses. It's phenomenal. The game is so maths based, it's ridiculous. There's another thing that I wanted to try and say, make sure I don't forget to tell you, which I must probably tell you now, is that people used to think, well, poker's just gambling. But it's not. You can see how much I've waffled on. 7 minutes have gone by already. I've not even got to the point of what I'm trying to say. The thing about poker is people think poker, well, it's just gambling. But it's not. That's the thing about it. It's a skill-based game. And people say, I always remember the arguments about it, saying, no, you can't say that. It is gambling. And, and therefore, me with an addictive trait, I shouldn't be doing it because it's just a gamble. But the thing is, what I used to say was, well, somebody said to me or clarified it to me was, if you wanted to gamble, and let's say you don't want to win money, you want to try and lose all your money. So let's say you go to a casino with 100 quid, you say I'm going to lose. So you go to the roulette table, and you put your money all over the roulette table to lose. You've still got a 1 in 36 chance of your number coming up, so therefore you've still got a chance of winning. If you went to play poker, and you wanted to lose at poker, you could lose at poker, because it's a skill-based game. Yes, there's an element of gamble in there, because you've always got the look of a card, but the rationality of the mathematics in there far outweighs it. Now that's why some of the best players in the world, believe it or not, one of the greatest players at the moment is Magnus Carlsen. Now Magnus Carlsen, he's world chess grandmaster, because the way their brain looks at the game tells me a couple of things. Number one, that's how math-based it is, but number two, tells me that's the reason why I should never actually consider myself as a career as a poker player, because that is a level that I'm never ever going to get to. So that's the analogy of poker, the story about it. But you can tell when I talk about it, how much I absolutely love it. But that's also down to the addictive traits that I have. When I get an addictive trait, that normally tends to happen when I get fixated by something. And that's like this now, this YouTube. I've been doing it roughly, YouTube vlogging. No, I'll rephrase that. I've been creating content. I started off vlogging 2 years ago. I've now started moving on to content creations, which is the reason why these are not just all point and shoot. Sometimes you get a lot of, there's editing in there. And I've always used the program, and the program I used was iMovie, because I've got an iMac, stick it in iMovie, boom, it's all done. iMac's still there, yeah. It's all done. And I've used that now most probably for 2 years to get us to a level that we're at now, and the level that we're at now shows on the statistics, etc. But it's nowhere near the level that I'd just let these ladies get past. It's nowhere near the level that YouTube's able to get to. And I always ask the question, why? Why is that nowhere near? Because is it down to content? Is it down to the creation? Is it down to editing? Is it down to the tools that we use? And it's a combination of a lot of stuff, which I understand that. But now there's been a game changer. And there's been a game changer in the editing. And that game changer now is because I've been using iMovie. iMovie's most probably, it's like when you learn to drive a car. No, it's not. It's like cars. It's like taking on a Formula 1 in a Vauxhall Corsa, or you're taking it on a Formula 1 car. Which one's going to win? But you've got to be qualified enough to use the Formula 1 car. Now that's what I'm actually trying to do now on this scene with the editing skills that we've got. As of today, I am moving over onto CapCut. The CapCut shows me so much more, or gives me much more options and availability. I was actually going to go to Premiere Pro, because I knew Premiere Pro is what a lot of the big lads leave. And I think eventually this might just be a step over to the Premiere Pro. I think it might be that step over that I need to actually improve the quality of the vlogs. But what's going to happen first of all, and I guarantee, is the quality of the vlogs is going to go downhill first of all. CapCut means I can do this. and I can do this. And if I wanted to, I could do this. And I could even do this. Now hopefully things have happened there. Because if they haven't, I don't even know where to walk. If I haven't, they look a bit stupid. But that's what CapCut enables me to do. What I do know though is it's like a learning process again. The familiarity that I've had, I've took iMovie now to its limit. Just like I took poker to its limit. And when you take something to its limit, it's a question of like, okay, well, what do you do? Do you leave it at that limit, or do you persevere and push through to try and get better at something that you want to try and improve at? So I'm stepping out of my comfort zone today, as of now, today, with this vlog, because from now on, this channel and the main channel are going to be using CapCut. Because I think there's going to be a lot more, but I'm going to have to learn it all over again. And it's like the start of the learning process of learning it all over again is not only daunting, but it's actually quite exciting. And that's the thing about it. So it's going to bear with me for the next couple of weeks until I get it under my belt. But I will get it under my belt. With YouTube vlogging, I feel there's so much more I can move forward with and push forward for. So watch out for it. We'll see some. Hopefully, you'll see some difference. If you're an editing fan, you'll see a difference. Got some football on. Football must be yesterday's. Hopefully, you'll see a difference in the quality of the vlogs. The quality of the editing and the smoothness, and maybe a little more tricks, a little more cups of tricks, like this. I don't know, did it work? I don't know. We'll have to let you know, okay? In the meantime, we're getting to another landmark on the subscription base. Thank you so much. Still 50% of people haven't subscribed. If you want to consider doing it, I'd really appreciate it. But from now on, I think that's about it now. It's an amazing, how do you explain it? I get a massive buzz out of learning a new skill. I think that's what it is, whether it be language, whether it be editing, whether it be poker, golf, selling. I just get a massive buzz from learning a new skill. And it's the start of that journey of that skill. And what's nice about this is it's the start of a journey with CapCut, but it's still based alongside the YouTube that I love and that I want to enjoy. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. What you don't realise now is when I finish this vlog, I'm actually the excited little kid at Christmas going to go home and load this into the computer and see what I'm quite excited to see what we can make of it. So hopefully you enjoy the content. Let us know in the comments what you think about it, and I'll see you on the next one. So cheers, enjoy your day, guys. Have I said everything I wanted to say? I doubt it, but there we go. Well, nothing else you can do, can you? See you later. I knew I'd forget stuff. I always do. I got most of it. It's just when you carry on walking and you go, I should have said that and that. The whole idea of the vlog, the basis of the vlog was somebody my age, 51 years of age, learning a new task, and the feeling of learning a new task. It actually excites me. I'm going to learn a whole new program, a computer program that's much more complex than the one I've used to try and improve on something that I actually really enjoy doing. And that's what it comes down to for me. So yes, it's a little bit daunting, but it's actually quite exciting. I was going to go off and have a coffee after this, but the excited kid in me is like, nah, I need to go back and have a go, load it into the computer and see what we can make of it. And I'm just thinking to myself, are you the same? Are you guys the same? Do you take on new things now? I've always tried to do that because of the kids, because my youngest is a computer, she's a computer whiz really, and he's trying to keep up with her. So we've got a level of conversation going, so I understand roughly a little bit about what she's talking about. Hence the reason why I try and stay up, keep up with the latest things. But it's definitely getting tougher and tougher. Anyway, I told you I'd forget something. See you on the next one. See if CapCut can give me some funky ending to this one. I'll leave it down to them. See you soon.